I'm announcing the areas I will add additional policy to in the future. This is a direction of travel. As with any policy announcements, they will come through the course of the campaign. These areas include housing, education, key infrastructure, and the environment. We also will have additional announcements with a Māori focus. The first announcement will be made on key infrastructure on Sunday, and this will be closely followed by an environmental announcement on Wednesday. But we've also looked at our team. Now, we have great support, but this will be, as we've said, an exceptional campaign. So I've looked for additional strategic support to add to our team. I have found that in Mike Munro. Mike will be known to many of you for his time spent here in Parliament under the last Labour government. He will be an excellent addition to our team, and he takes on the role as strategic advisor. I've also committed to changing the nature of this campaign. We're focused on building and keeping energy and momentum, but we're also focused on being as accessible as we can be. The equivalent of Hamilton worth of young people didn't vote last election. That has to change. We will be using different tools, every tool available, every single week we can. I will, for instance, be hosting Facebook Lives every single week. I want to reach everyone. Many are, of course, looking for a sense of our campaign, though, through just one tool, and that is our tagline. And it's come almost inadvertently. When I first wrote a post on social media about the campaign, I finished it with the most natural conclusion. Let's do this. It's not just about the next 7 weeks. It's about what we can do if we are in a position to make change. I'm excited by this campaign and by what's possible. So let's do this. And because we're not just doing this for the media, but for people watching, if you'd like to join our campaign, www.labour.org.nz, and of course all donations welcome. All right, we're ready for your questions.
What does it actually mean, let's do this?
It means we've got 7 weeks to change the government. But it's not just about the campaign itself, it's about what's possible when we're in a position of power. The ability to build more homes, to clean up our rivers, to make sure we have decent healthcare and better education. It's about all of the things that we can bring and offer to New Zealand together.
Does this mean that it'll just be you on the billboard?
I will just be the only one on the billboards.
Yes, I've got the easiest job in politics. I just need to kick back and bask in the glow of the Jacinda effect.
Do you think people will know what this means?
Yeah, absolutely.
When are we going to hear more from policies? So you've got
Sunday.
transport, I think, on Sunday.
Key infrastructure on Sunday, environment on Wednesday, and then we'll continue to progressively roll out additional policy as we go. I think it'll be obvious as they come which ones that I've added my stamp to.
And so are we talking about extra spending here now that you need to try and find extra revenue?
Everything that we do will be within our budget responsibility rules. Grant Robertson would have it no other way.
And on environment, we've talked about New Zealand being a leader on climate change, so what would we expect to see there?
And our climate change policy, I think, currently reflects that, but I'll be looking for ways that we can further enhance that.
Is your environmental emphasis going to be on water? Is that the policy that's coming?
That's certainly something that public have told us they care about deeply. You know, and we've been very, very clear that that's a sign of whether or not we truly are a clean, green nation. I think it's a real touchstone point for New Zealanders. So clean rivers is very important to us. Water, obviously, as a nation, is very important to us, but it's not the only environmental challenge we'd like to speak to.
Have you worked out how much replacing the bridges and the things going to cost?
I have not sat down and gone through that depressing exercise as yet, no. But obviously it is going to come at a cost. The fact that we do have to redo campaign ads as well will obviously come at a cost. So that's why the additional more than 300,000 that is rolled in from the public is incredibly important, and that's why we're so grateful.
Is that likely to suck up that cost and therefore not give you?
I couldn't tell you at what cost the hoardings will come, but this wasn't an option. We had to change out the hoardings. The campaign has changed dramatically, obviously, and we needed to reflect that in our campaign.
If you're sticking within the budget responsibility rules and other policies that are going to come up, you mentioned wanting to bring new policies to the table. They come up that are going to cost more money, or we have to see something on the revenue side.
We'll be sticking with the budget responsibility rules.
So that's a yes.
Corin, do you want to go now?
Yes, it is. Can you rule out raising the top tax rate?
I've given an overview of the policy areas that we will be adding emphasis. There might be other areas that we touch on through the course of the campaign, but I've already given an indication that in housing, in education, in the environmental space, and of course on Māori issues, that's where our emphasis will be.
People wanted an indication though of your direction. So can you give any indication of whether you believe, that people on wealthy people on higher income should pay more tax?
People will be left in no doubt of our direction during this campaign. I don't think anyone expects that after 72 hours I'll come out with every single policy we'll announce, but we will make sure New Zealanders have good time to come to terms with the things that we're proposing and the ideas that we're putting out
So
there.
is a change to the current tax setting, is that possible before
I've covered off the areas of emphasis for us, and we'll be announcing them in good time in the course of the campaign.
But I don't know what that means, because like what I'm saying to you is,
You're
can
a
you just,
smart man, Kate. I think you know what that means.
well, can you just tell New Zealanders, are you going to make some sort of change to your tax policy before election day?
I've made it clear that the areas of emphasis for us will be housing, education, environmental matters, and key infrastructure.
And a
That's
change,
where they can look to see extra emphasis over the course of the
and
campaign.
a change to tax is not off the table.
I've given a clear indication of the policy ideas we'll be presenting.
Are you going to change other parts of your campaign, the way you campaign, the way
Yeah.
you campaign? Also,
Yeah.
tell us more about what.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been obvious, I think, to most of us for some time that traditional forms of campaigning, door knocking, phoning, they're all incredibly important, but we need to start adapting to where people are. Social media has played a role in campaigning for some time. We would like to see that lifted up another level, so that's why we're committing to Facebook Live sessions where we're accessible and available throughout the course of the campaign. We want everyone to be able to engage with us, whether or not we come to their town or their city, anytime, anywhere.
But just on me,
Can I change the subject? Would you have been happy for Materia Ture to be a minister in your cabinet?
No. This is an incredibly sad set of circumstances, but I think Materia has made the right decision.
So you would have ruled her out if she hadn't ruled herself out?
Yes, I share the position that she's come to. It was an incredibly difficult set of circumstances, but she has made the right call.
and had you made, Jacinda Ardern, had you made that decision in your own mind, if Materia Ture hadn't done that just now, would you have done it here when asked the same
Yeah,
question?
as I said, I think under these circumstances, Materia has made the right decision, and I came to the same conclusion that she had.
And you would have done it right here, right now, if she hadn't done it.
Yes, I would.
Can you
think
see
she
a
should
place in the
resign?
future, can you see a place in the future where she may become a minister? If you've been in government for some time?
Oh, look, that's a hypothetical situation. Under these current circumstances, she's the one who's ruled herself out.
Why exactly couldn't she have been in cabinet?
I think Matitia's reflected that in the fact that she's reflected on the issue herself and has come to the conclusion that it would have been untenable. I think she made the right decision.
What was it she actually did though that put her out of the running?
I think she's obviously reflected on that herself and come to that conclusion.
Yeah, but you
Tell
said
me
you would have
about
come to the same conclusion, so
Yes.
can you tell us why?
Oh, look, I've reflected on that in the past, and the situation that she's found herself in made it untenable for her to be in the position to join a cabinet. She's made that decision, and I share her position.
What, because she was a benefit fraudster? Is that right?
She's made this decision, obviously, at the conclusion of a wide range of events that have come to the fore, and I think she made the right decision.
What about if she pays the money back?
Look, those are all hypothetical situations. She has ruled herself out, and I support the decision that she's made.
Have you
Did you
thought
tell
about
her
ditching
your
the
view?
memorandum of understanding?
No.
Are you thinking about ditching?
No, that's an agreement between two parties, Labor and the Greens. I'm only commenting on the issue of a position within Cabinet, because as a Prime Minister I would be called to make the same decision.
But-
Everything else is a matter for the Greens.
But a lot of people have said that it would be the best thing that you could do is to kind of cut ties with the Greens, and this sort of gives you a perfect opportunity.
This
to do
doesn't
that.
change the relationship between Labor and the Greens, which is an agreement between parties about what happens if we're in a position to form government. What we're talking about today is the decision of an individual member of their party. It doesn't change the MOU.
Is
How
she a
is the
liability to
relationship?
the left?
I'm not drawing any further into a discussion on this. I said on Tuesday that our campaign would be focused on Labor. As I said, I've made comments solely on this issue because if I was in a position to be Prime Minister, I would have been called to comment on it as well. All other matters I consider matters for the Greens, and will continue to be focused on matters for Labor.
Have you met with the Green leadership yet?
No, I had a conversation earlier in the week with James, but we haven't had an opportunity to meet yet. We will soon.
Have you talked with Winston Peters?
No, I have not.
Are you going to?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be an opportunity on the campaign trail, and I'd welcome it.
How
Can
is
we,
the
just
relationship
talk,
with the Greens after this week?
Our relationship continues to be a strong one. The MOU has good foundations, but as I say, my focus isn't on the relationship between Labor and any other party at this point. We've got 7 weeks to campaign. We need to be talking about our issues.
Is there anything about policy that you can tell us today? Anything new?
I've told you the areas we'll be focused on, and on Sunday I'll be giving you more details on one of them, and on Wednesday I'll give you more details than that.
The
light rail to
infrastructure.
the airport, is it?
Sorry?
Light rail to the airport.
I won't be confirming the nature or the content of that policy until Sunday.
But do you feel that Auckland needs relief basically from the traffic up there?
Yes. Anyone who lives in Auckland believes that. Anyone who visits Auckland believes that. Economic reports telling us that we're losing billions of dollars in productivity because of congestion knows and believes that.
And can I just turn the questioning to the issue of strategy and the role that Mike Munro will be playing?
Sure.
What is he going to be doing? Who is he? What's he going to be doing?
Look, his experience in political campaigns will be invaluable for us. He's had a role in the past when under a Helen Clark government, but he's also worked on Justin Lester's campaign. At this point, we've seen playing a strategic advisory role for us. There will be plenty of jobs and work to go around.
Is that the only appointment you intend to make?
Yes, otherwise we're well serviced by the team that we have, but there's no doubt that we needed extra, under these circumstances, extra additional support.
Has anyone lost their job?
No.
Are you changing
That was,
vacancies?
just a comment on that, that was personally really important to me. The machinations of what happens here in this place often has a wide impact on other people. No one saw this situation arising. I don't think the staff should, in the 8 weeks that remain, have to feel the impact of that. They're a great team, and I'm thrilled to be working with them.
Do you see Munro's role going on past the election?
Oh, look, we haven't made any decisions on that front. We're only focused on the next 7 weeks.
He's not the chief of staff or anything.
We
like
are
that.
only, thank you for your optimism. We are only focused on the next 7 weeks. That is our absolute focus.
So can you clarify, did you or your party directly say to Materia, if she didn't rule herself out as a minister, you or Labor would?
I haven't spoken directly to anyone from the Greens today, but my team certainly did convey my view to the Greens.
So you said, with that, by conveying your view, you setting a standard you would adhere to as a Prime Minister of a Cabinet, you're saying that that's a line in the sand, you can't be in Cabinet if you...
Certainly, it's about setting a standard, but actually it was also about respect. It was only fair that I convey to the Greens my personal view. I knew I would be asked. I thought it was important that they understand my position as well.
When was this conveyed?
Earlier this morning.
So you could have been the one responsible for
I
Materia.
said no, absolutely not. I do not accept that. Materia has made her own decision. Simply it was a matter of courtesy that we made it known what our view was, because we knew we would be asked, and so I thought that was important.
But what's the bit that you felt was the line that was crossed? Was it that there were rules broken, that was it the way she
If we were in a situation where we were together as a cabinet and I was Prime Minister, there would be no question that this call would have had to have been made. It's an extremely sad set of circumstances, but Matiria made the right decision.
She said she's still glad she opened up this conversation around welfare and the living situation for the fisheries and the solution that face, etc. Are you glad that that conversation is being had?
I think that there needs to be a conversation about the incomes of all Kiwis, the dignity of our welfare system. That is a conversation that needs to be had. The unfortunate thing that I know Matiria would share this view as well is that that conversation got lost. And yet those are the issues that we need to be talking about in the election. Things that we offer as our own parties, that's why we as Labour will be focused on our solutions in that area rather than talking about other parties' positions.
You said it was no call, but having made it clear what your view was, there's no other call for her to make.
It was absolutely her view. I can't, her call. I can't tell you at what point even Matiria made the decision. She may well have made it at the point that our view was conveyed. It was her decision. And I'm certainly going to hold the line that dignity needs to be given to Matiria on this front. She made the decision. We certainly shouldn't make assumptions that anyone else influenced her view.
Sorry to ask this question again, but I just think it is very, very critical to the future of the election campaign and what New Zealanders need to know. Are you, as Labour leader, intending to make some tax changes that could see people pay more tax?
That was dramatic build-up. I didn't know what was coming there. Patty, all in good time.
So you don't rule it out?
All in good time. I've demonstrated the areas where we will have emphasis. We will roll out our policies as we are ready.
Just on the campaign itself, aside from the Facebook live sessions, what other ways are you going to change how you campaign in the next election?
How are you on Snapchat?
I've got a bit to learn, I have to.
Yeah, I mean, the point is the accessibility and about incorporating different tools into our campaign. Some of it might work, some of it may not, but I guess the point is that we're willing to try new things in this campaign, and I'm committed to us being as accessible as possible on the campaign trail.
You said that Māori issues is going to be a renewed focus. How are you going to change what you've been doing? Is it going to be more than just Calvin becoming the deputy?
Yeah, we indicated that we would have policies specifically in areas with a Māori focus, and that's certainly what we're committed to. We also have, obviously, the Māori campaign strategy, and that remains utterly in place.
Can I just get clear? You said you're going to stick with the budget responsibility rules.
Yes.
Are you also going to stick with the fiscal parameters that you released as part of that?
The fiscal plan.
Fiscal plan.
The fiscal plan was also connected, obviously, to the budget responsibility rules.
But they are
Look, the point, Vernon, is that we absolutely maintain that economic credibility is key in this election campaign. Whether we like it or not, people have a view on Labour and economic credibility. I would, of course, counter that we have a strong economic record. But that is why we produce the budget responsibility rules, and that is why we'll stick to them.
Calvin, will some of that social media for you as you learn it be in Māori? You're talking about trying to attract Māori.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As often as we can, we'll do things in Māori. But bearing in mind that only 20% of Māori actually speak Māori, we actually do need to have a good balance of Māori and English. But yeah, we'll do things in Māori. We'll do posts speaking in Māori. We'll do things written in Māori. So.
How much market testing did you do around the phrase or the catchphrase "Let's do this"?
We've tested on ourselves, asked a few people. Certainly nothing that I would call rigorous or robust. Obviously you can see by the amount of time that we've had, there's only so much you can do.
Which other ones did you rule out though? Was there any other phrases that you thought, nah?
Should we start a voting session on whether we landed on the right one? Of course we threw around a few ideas, but as I said, from the moment we walked out of this space and started thinking about what needed to be done, we noticed we actually had started using this tagline already. It was the natural response to this exceptional campaign, this campaign of our lives.
Calvin, you mentioned the Jacinda effect before. Can you just expand on that a little bit? Tell us what you've noticed in the last 3 days.
Well, Jacinda's just had such cut through with young people, with women, across the whole country. In fact, I was telling the story about my cousin. His nickname's Creature. His real name's Jimmy. with grave digging, and he goes, Calvin, I'm voting for Jacinda. And I said, mate, you live in Moirua in my electorate. And he goes, I'm voting for Jacinda. You know, if you can get Creature interested in voting, Jacinda can get Creature interested in voting. You know, she's nailed it.
You were grave digging with someone called Creature.
Yeah, and we're at school together as well.
Yeah, can you tell us how you got the name?
Oh, that's another long story too. If you meet him, you'll know why we called him.
Jacinda, can you just clarify further for Bernard's question? Are you going to stick to the fiscal
You
plan?
both know Grant Robertson, and you know what parameters that he will hold me to. He's already released the fiscal plan.
I'm just trying to find out if you are now sticking to that, and anything further that you might add will be within the money reserved for unallocated spending.
Yeah, we have stuck to our parameters so far in this campaign and will continue to do so. That includes a combination both of the fiscal plan and the budget responsibility rules, but everything that we announce will make sure is fully costed and sticks within the parameters that we've set ourselves.
Well, you don't need any more cash then.
Well, there's obviously pre-food to come as well, so there's a number of different dynamics that will enter into this campaign.
But you don't need any more cash then.
The pre-food's yet to come as well, and there's another number of different dynamics in this campaign. All right, thanks, all right.